Yeah. Right. I think it just bothers me that... I think it's also the fact that it was just over so quickly. Like, you think maybe you wander around here for a bit and go, okay, it's not over here, so we'll head to the friendly I'm in. And then he says it.
You have but to ask.
I don't want to keep him. It's one of those things, like, chaotic neutral. Okay, I'm not keeping her because... It's like, I'm keeping her for pretty much for her protection more than anything else. This guy, the only reason I kept him was for this mission and finding the caravan. So I think we will kick him out. I think we'll get Khalid back first. I think we've got the money for that now. No, yeah. Oh yeah, we got 215 now.
What is it this time? I shall attend
No,
to it.
come on, dude.
in
Dude.
Glitter Gold guide your eye on your travels.
For a bit of a respectful coin, we can cure what ails thee if you need. So what sort of cures do you have available? We want Raise the Dead, which is the same as cure serious wounds. Death is pretty serious. It is a pretty serious wound. Done. Ooh, cool effect.
Yes.
So you will lay on hands on the wrong person because I'm an idiot.
You've a task?
I'm dumb. I'm quite dumb. Right. So yeah, I'm surprised that she's lost 2. I mean, All right. I thought they would have been immediately re-thingamied. So now we're gonna inventory up. We're gonna. There you go. There you go. There you go. I don't think I've got any weapons that Nera could use. Thinking about it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that I can really give her. So you equip your stuff. Yeah, there we go. And this guy's only got studded leather. I mean, I'm not going to use any of his stuff. It's not even like I can, from an out of character, I could, in theory, have him die and then nick his stuff. But there's not. I don't really. Apart from selling it, there's nothing I really want from his stuff. And I think there'd be no yeah. I think alright. If I'm doing things in character, I just ask him to leave. And okay, so we've walked to the inn, and you don't want to look for this guy anymore, so you're wasting our time.
What is it this you have but to ask?
I don't want to talk.
Oh, well, I want to kick you out of my party, so that's what I'm going to do. Yes. Done.
Go pester someone else.
You got hardy hides, folk. If you ever need a little more dwarven muscle around, you've got it. Okay. So he's going to hang around the friendly I'm in. I mean, outside, but we might be able to pick him up again if we ever want to look. Is he lawful evil? I can't even remember anymore. But oh, shut up. What was I even going to do? Oh, I was going to rest.
You have but to ask.
Because
You rang?
you have a what is that? That's magic missile, and you have Nahal's Reckless Duioma. The spell is the Wild Mage's ultimate last resort spell. When cast, the mage releases a sudden flood of wild magical energy in the hope of seizing and shaping that energy into a desired spell effect. The attempt usually fails, but something almost always occurs. To use Nahal's Reckless Duioma, simply cast it, then choose from your list of known spells. A burst of magical energy is released, which the Wild Mage will try to manipulate into the desired form. The actual effect of the spell is determined randomly by a die roll on the Wild Search table. See the manual for more details. Because the release of energy is planned by the mage, his level is added to the die roll. If the result indicates success, well, her level, the mage has shaped the magical energy into the desired effect. More often than not, the effect is completely unexpected. The result might be beneficial to the mage, or it might be completely disastrous. This is the risk the mage takes in casting Nahal's Reckless Duioma.
How may I be of
It sounds entertaining, but I'm not sure it's a good idea. Yeah, I think...
What now? Need your pantaloons pressed?
No. No. Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, that should come back, shouldn't it?
It shall be as you wish.
Maybe it's because I went with the peasant
My
one.
inn is open to all who behave themselves.
Yeah, likely be minimal. Favorite through business travel. Dreams with this, a good solid mattress for most of the week, but not so pumped to promote oversleeping. Okay, I think we'll go with the merchant. That should give us our spells, and then we'll head back to Beregost. Not sure what we'll do then. Do you have
What you want?
By
spells?
your command.
Ah, we do have spells. Good.
Yes? I shall attend to your tries.
Yeah, I kind of.
Gather your party.
Oh, shut up. I kind of nicked that dwarf's helmet, but whatever. I mean, he has his helmet. He has his own helmet now. He's still
I shall
here.
attend to it in a trice.
Yep, he's still there, waiting for us to potentially pick him up. I can see potentially Nera leaving our party if I take Minsk and Dinner. I think having two mages in the last party was a problem. That may have been because the main character was one of those mages, which means that you have to survive. You have to, if you die and you have very few hit points, then the game's over regardless of anyone else's hit points. So that may have been a problem with that. So I think we'll just head straight to Beregost.
All this traveling, all this adventure, how do you manage it? Until now, I was barely able to keep my head above water. Yet here with you, it seems almost easy.
I don't have time for conversation. Easy, we share of danger near it. There is safety in numbers.
Safety in numbers, eh? Fair enough. I guess I just never really had a traveling companion before. My life on the road has been a solitary affair, full of cold nights and colder dreams. It's enough to make a girl want to head back to High Forest.
It seems odd that it's a travelling companion, rather than travelling companions, which would include the singular, but... Alright, High Forest, is that where you come from?
That's me, born and raised in the thicket. At least until my mistakes piled up high enough to come crashing down on me.
Only a coward flees from her mistakes. I think you would probably think that, but... what drove you out of your house? No, mistakes can be corrected. I'm sure you weren't forced out.
No, I guess nobody kicked me out. But they would have, if I'd stayed.
And what exactly happened?
A maiming or two.
Oh my goodness.
You don't count the second-degree burn. Completely accidental, and everybody lived. Well, at least I'm pretty sure everybody lived.
I find most of the deaths around me are rarely accidental. These people crossed you, didn't they? No. No, I'm not going to challenge you with that. I mean, he wouldn't say that. I mean, I think people just end up attacking Sir Gareth, and that's their own fault. Accidents happen, even horrible ones. Oh, surely it wasn't your fault. What happened?
During our magical training, we were supposed to summon a sphere of fire. And mine got away from me somehow. One moment I was concentrating, the next moment my classmates were rolling on the floor screaming.
Remind me to stand back when you cast a spell. I mean, no. I mean, even if I were kind of doing Sir Gareth as in a pen and paper RPG, I probably wouldn't say that, even sarcastically. A terrible turn of events, but you can't blame yourself. Perhaps your poor teachers are the ones to blame. I don't think blaming someone else is what you'd do, but I think you might try and assuage her guilt. So a terrible turn of events, but I'm not sure you can blame yourself.
Of course I can blame myself. Accident or not, I should have been more careful. I could have taken responsibility or at least fetched a bucket of water. Instead, I ran away, terrified of what I'd done.
You didn't even try to help? Horrible, I know. Oh, do you not speak this dialogue? Okay. Afterwards, I ran into the woods and couldn't bear to go back to face the consequences. I snuck back into the village now and then for food and wanted to leave a note for my parents, but eventually I had to leave.
I took to wandering high forest, but I kept running into the wrong people and doing the wrong thing. Eventually, Turlang the tree grabbed me and said, "Take a hike." Maybe not in those words exactly.
And by the gods, she has finished. I've become teary-eyed. Say no more, or I'll collapse from dehydration. And interesting, I would like to hear more sometime. No, let's encourage. I'd say, encourage her to go on. And so, you left on your journey.
And so I left High Forest. I've been wandering for a while now. I've got a few ideas for a destination, but I'm still considering them. Come, let us continue this journey together.
Okay. I've just realised, in that conversation, that one of the reasons... Okay, not one of the reasons I went to the Friendly Armen. The reason I went was to get a lead back. But part of the thing I was thinking about when I went there... Is there a cut through here? There's not a cut through here, is there? Oh, there is. Huh. I did not know that. Thank you, game. Thank you, game. One of the things I was thinking about doing when going back to the Friendly Armen was to find this book. The, what is it? Dum-ty-dum-ty-dum. The History of the Fateful Coin. Which I think you can get from the Friendly Armen, but I forgot to get it because I'm forgetful. So we'll have a look, see if we can get it from this inn. Once everyone's.
Here now, get out! I don't like you typing here. You tell him, Marl.
All right.
How may I be of assistance?
I mean, there isn't really another shop in here.
As you wish.
Go on, Sir Gareth. Bother the innkeeper.
I got some cheap beer for you.
Keep a low profile, if you please. Tempers are short for strangers right now. So what do you want? What do you have to offer? Can we buy a book? Aha, we can. We'll buy that. Hey, I told you to get lost. Ain't no room here for you troublemaking strangers. Sorry, I don't want any trouble. I'll just go my way. I'll go where I like. You got a problem with that? Huh. Well, I've got what I want, which is the book. I'm happy just to go and leave this problem. Sorry, I don't want any trouble. I'll just head on my way. That's the way. Get on back to whatever hole you crawled out of. This here's taverns for decent, hard-working folk. Why don't you get a trade or something instead of wandering around annoying what should be left alone?
What is it that it shall be as you wish?
I'm not really doing much annoying. Well, okay, so Firebig lives here. I'm not really doing anything. Oh, I'm not really doing any annoying things that like the kind of classic wizard, you know, bothering things that should be left well alone. Man was not meant to meddle in such affairs, etc., etc.
So hard to find. Folk
Mm.
nowadays.
You're generous to an old man, so I'll be generous in turn. Let me give you another book in exchange. It's a touch darker than what you've given me, but I get a sense that you may enjoy it nonetheless.
Good on you if you saved the day.
Oh, is that a bit, because because our reputation increased? We haven't had that before. It was 13 and popular. Yeah, so it's not the level of it that's increased, it's just we've gained a bit more. When do you... Ooh, 50, so only 250 more and you can level up.
Gorion would be proud of your actions.
How may I be of assistance?
Thank you, let's look at your imagery. Ooh, that looks interesting. This sturdy container allows dozens of scrolls to be placed in it, safe from exposure to fire, rain or lightning, common hazards faced by any adventuring wizard. And we have History of the Dead 3. Knucklebones, skull bowling, and the empty throne. In ages past there was but one god of strife, death, and the dead, and he was known as Jurgal, lord of the end of everything. Jurgal fomented and fed on the discord among mortals and powers alike. When beings slew each other in their quest for power or in their hatred, he welcomed them into his shadowy kingdom of eternal gloom. As all things died, everything came to him eventually, and over time he built his power into a kingdom unchallenged by any other god. Eventually, however, he grew tired of his duties, for he knew them too well. Without challenge there is nothing, and in nothingness there is only gloom. In such a state, the difference between absolute power and absolute powerlessness is undetectable. During this dark era, there arose 3 powerful mortals, Bane, Baal, and Merkel, who lusted after the power Jurgle wielded. The trio forged an unholy pact, agreeing that they would dare to seek such ultimate power or die in the attempt. Over the length and breadth of the realms they strode, seeking powerful magic and spells and defying death at every turn. No matter what monster they confronted or what spells they braved, the 3 mortals emerged unscathed at every turn. Eventually, the trio destroyed one of the 7 lost gods, and they each seized a portion of his divine essence for themselves. The trio then journeyed into the grey waste and sought out the Castle of Bone. Through armies of skeletons, legions of zombies, hordes of non-corporeal undead, incorporeal, and a gauntlet of liches they battled. Eventually they reached the object of their lifelong quest, the Bone Throne. "I claim this throne of evil," shouted Bane the tyrant. "I'll destroy you before you can raise a finger," threatened Baal the assassin. "And I shall imprison your essence for eternity," promised Merkel the necromancer. Jurgle arose from his throne with a weary expression and said, "The throne is yours. I have grown weary of this empty power. Take it if you wish. I promise to serve and guide you as your seneschal until you grow comfortable with the position." Before the stunned trio could react, the Lord of the Dead continued, "Who among you shall rule?" The trio immediately fell to fighting amongst themselves while Jurgle looked on with indifference. When eventually it appeared that either they would all die of exhaustion or battle on for eternity, the Lord of the End of Everything intervened. "After all you have sacrificed, would you come away with nothing? Why don't you divide the portfolios of the office and engage in a game of skill for them?" asked Jurgle. Bane, Baal, and Merkel considered the god's offer and agreed. Jurgle took the heads of his 3 most powerful liches and gave them to the trio that they would compete by bowling the skulls. Each mortal rolled a skull across the grey waste, having agreed that the winner would be he who bowled the farthest. Malar the Beast Lord arrived to visit Jurgle at this moment. After quickly ascertaining that the winner of the contest would get all of Jurgle's power, he chased off after the 3 skulls to make sure that the contest would be halted until he had a chance to participate for part of the prize. Bane, Baal, and Merkel again fell to fighting as it was obvious that their sport was ruined, and again Jurgle intervened. "Why don't you allow Lady Luck to decide so you don't have to share with the beast?" The trio agreed, and Jurgle broke off his skeletal finger bones and gave them to the players. When Malar returned from chasing the skulls, he found that the trio had just finished a game of knucklebones. Bane cried out triumphantly, "As winner, I choose to rule for all eternity as the ultimate tyrant. I can induce hatred and strife at my whim, and all will bow down before me while in my kingdom." Merkel, who had won 2nd place, declared, "But I choose the dead, and by doing so I truly win, because all you are lord over, Bane, will eventually be mine. All things must die, even gods." Baal, who finished 3rd, demurred, "I choose death, and it is by my hand that all..." that's the dead. "I choose death, and it is by my hand that all that you rule, Lord Bane, will eventually pass to Lord Merkel. Both of you must pay honour to me and obey my wishes, since I can destroy your kingdom, Bane, by murdering your subjects, and I can starve your kingdom, Merkel, by staying my hand." Malar growled in frustration, but could do nothing, and yet again only the beasts were left for him. And Jurgle merely smiled, for he had been delivered. Interesting.